Hello, I'm continuing my reviews on the Jaws series with Jaws the Revenge, the fourth and technically final film of the Jaws franchise. Now, the reason I say technically is there was actually a movie called Jaws 5, which came out in the 90s, but that is not officially a Jaws sequel. It's actually a ripoff of Jaws that just happened to slap the title Jaws 5 on it. So, this is really the final film in the franchise, unless you count Jaws 5. Now, Jaws the Revenge came out in 1987, and this is considered by most people to be the worst of the Jaws sequels. Now, I want to say that on a technical level, I actually think Jaws 3 is the worst, because Jaws 3 was a very poorly made movie, and it really wasn't very well acted either. In this movie's defense, and to this movie's credit, it's at least well made, and it is relatively well acted. It just happens to have the most ridiculous plotline out of all the Jaws sequels. But I actually think the fact that this movie is actually well made, and is for the most part well acted, and it actually takes itself seriously. The fact that this movie actually takes itself seriously actually makes the film funnier, because this film has such a stupid-ass premise, yet it takes itself so dead seriously that actually makes the film hilarious. Like, this is an unintentional comedy, and for me, this is an almost so bad that it's good kind of movie. Like, Jaws the Revenge is a movie that really kind of has to be seen to be believed, because this film, the premise is so preposterous, so ludicrous, and so ridiculous that you would not believe it unless you've actually seen the movie. Now, in this review, I am going to be giving away a few spoilers, so for those of you who haven't seen this movie, I just want to warn you that I am going to be giving away a few spoilers in this review. Now, the plot of the movie is it actually follows the character of Ellen Brody, who was Chief Brody's wife in the first two movies, and she's the main character of this movie. Now, in this movie, you find out that Chief Brody actually died of a heart attack a few years after the events of Jaws 2, but before the events of this movie. Now, it seems that this movie is ignoring the continuity of Part 3. Like, it seems like this movie is completely pushing Part 3 out of continuity. So, in the beginning of the movie, you see Ellen Brody with her son Sean, who now is a cop, just like his father, and in the beginning of the film, Sean is called out to go move this, like, piece of wood that's floating in the water, and he's out on the police boat, and basically the shark attacks his boat and kills him, and then Mike Brody, his brother, comes to his funeral, and basically Mike and his family invite Ellen to go down to the Bahamas, where Mike lives now, because Mike is like a marine biologist, and they all go down to the Bahamas, and it turns out that the shark follows them to the Bahamas. Now, this movie actually introduces supernatural elements into it. Like, it turns out that Ellen actually has, and I'm not making this up, a psychic connection to the shark, and it also appears that this is not a normal shark. Like, apparently, I heard that this shark is actually the ghost of the shark from the first movie. So literally, it's a ghost shark, and Ellen Brody has a psychic connection to the ghost shark. And apparently the ghost shark is now going after the Brody family as revenge for what what Chief Brody did to it in the first movie, and I'm not making this up. I know this sounds like I'm making this up, but I'm not. Like, that's the premise of this movie. It's literally a movie about a ghost shark. The stupidest premise in the world, but what makes this movie so freaking hilarious is the fact that it takes itself dead seriously. And the film is actually really dark and really downright depressing. Now, normally that can be a good thing, especially if you're trying to do a drama film, because this film is definitely trying to be kind of a character drama. The problem is, though, it's a character drama with the stupidest premise in the world. Now, in the film, there's also kind of a subplot about Ellen developing a romantic relationship with this pilot named Hoagie, played by Michael Caine, and it's actually not a bad subplot in the movie, and probably could have worked better in a better movie, but once again, it's just such a bad movie. But what makes this movie so funny is that it was trying to be good. Like, this was trying to be a good movie, and it just failed absolutely miserably. Now, I would say that most of the acting in the movie is pretty good, with the exception of Mario Van Peebles' character in this movie, who's a character named Jake, and I don't want to say it was really a bad performance from Mario Van Peebles, it's just that character annoyed the piss out of me, so I don't really want to blame the actor. Like, it wasn't necessarily a bad performance, it was just a bad character. And at the end of the movie, you actually see that character get eaten by the shark, and this is one of the things that makes this movie so hilarious, is he's actually somehow alive after they killed the shark at the end. Now, apparently the reason for that was he originally died in the original cut of this movie, but test audiences really liked that character, so they decided to make it where the character lived at the end, which is freaking stupid. And one of the stupidest things about this movie, among many stupid things, is how they kill the shark at the end. Now, there are actually two endings to this movie. Now, I first saw this movie years ago on television, and the ending I saw originally was basically Ellen Brody, she's on a boat at the end, and she drives the boat right into the shark and stabs the shark, and the shark dies, and that was the ending I saw on television. The ending that's on this DVD that I have, and this is apparently the theatrical ending, she rams the freaking front of the boat into the shark's body, and then the shark fucking explodes. For no reason whatsoever, the shark explodes. Another really hilarious scene in this movie, at the end, you actually see the shark, it comes up out of the water, and it roars. I'm not fucking joking. The shark roars like a lion. Now, of course, apparently in this movie it's a supernatural shark, so maybe because it's like a ghost/demon kind of shark, maybe it makes sense that it roars, but no, it's just fucking stupid. Now, I'm going all over the place in this review, I know. Another really stupid thing in this movie is the shark in the movie really doesn't look that good. Now, to be fair, even in the original Jaws, the shark did not look 100% realistic, but part of what made Jaws work so well, and I know this wasn't really intentional, it was really more of an accident, but it's part of what makes the first Jaws so great, is in the first Jaws, they built up the shark. Like, you didn't see the whole shark in the beginning, they built it up, and then when you finally saw it, you really bought it, even if the shark really didn't look that realistic in the original film. You bought it because there was such a build-up to it. In this movie, the shark already looks fake as shit, and there's no build-up to the shark whatsoever. When you see it, you see all of it, and it just looks hilarious looking when you see it. Now, one of the most unintentionally hilarious scenes in this movie is a scene where the shark attacks these people on a banana boat. I'm not fucking joking. And, like, when people start screaming, like, you see all these people standing in a row on the beach, and they're almost synchronized in the way that they all turn their heads at the same time. Like, if you see the movie, it would make a little more sense, but it's just so hilarious because, the whole movie's hilarious because you know they were trying to make a good movie, and they ended up making an unintentional masterpiece of trash. And there's so much other stupid shit in this movie that I'm sure I'm skipping over right now. Now, I have this friend who every so often she has what she calls a bad shark movie night, and like every so often me and a bunch of our friends, we get together at her house and watch a bunch of quote-unquote bad shark movies, and usually we watch stuff like Sharktopus or Jersey Shore Shark Attack or Sharknado. But the thing about those movies is those are bad shark movies that are intended to be bad, so you really can't call them 100% bad because they're intended to be bad. But one time I bought this movie over because to me this is a true bad shark movie, because I kind of like these kind of bad movies better where it was trying to be good but it failed miserably. Like, I find those kind of bad movies to be much more hilarious, and I bought this movie over and we watched it and we were just having a blast tearing this movie a new asshole. But yeah, Jaws the Revenge is, in my opinion, one of the best unintentional comedies out there. Like, this really is an unintentional comedy, and I think the film is hilarious. Like, it is a bad movie, but I kind of enjoy it because of how bad it is. Like, the movie tries to be a character drama, but it falls flat on its face because it has the stupidest premise in the world about a demon ghost shark that is terrorizing and stalking a family. Like, it's the stupidest premise in the world. But what makes this film so funny is the fact that it takes itself so seriously. So, I don't recommend this movie, yet I recommend it at the same time. I don't recommend this if you're looking for a good movie, but if you're looking to laugh your ass off, then I do recommend this movie. Like, if you want to, like, hang out with a bunch of your friends and, like, get drunk out of your minds and tear this movie a new asshole, like me and my friends did, then I would recommend this movie. So yeah, that was my review of Jaws the Revenge, and my next movie review, even though it's not officially a Jaws sequel, for shits and giggles, I'm going to review Bruno Mattei's Jaws 5 Cruel Jaws. So that will be my next movie review, and bye.